After rewatching the pilot episode of The Big Bang Theory, a show that ran for 12 seasons and became one of the most popular sitcoms in television history, I realized something shocking that completely changes how I view the series as a whole. The pilot, which first aired in 2007, introduced audiences to Leonard Hofstadter and Sheldon Cooper, two physicists living together in Pasadena, whose lives are suddenly disrupted when Penny, an aspiring actress and waitress, moves into the apartment across the hall. The show's early setup was intended to establish the contrast between the socially awkward scientists and their attractive, street-smart neighbor, but upon revisiting it years later, there are layers of characterization and subtle foreshadowing that reveal just how different the show could have been. What's most surprising is that the pilot doesn't just set the tone for a light-hearted comedy about nerds and pop culture references. It actually hints at darker, more complex themes that were softened or abandoned entirely as the series developed into a mainstream phenomenon. The first shocking realization is how Leonard and Sheldon's relationship is portrayed in the pilot compared to the later seasons. At the start, Sheldon is shown as socially awkward but not entirely devoid of empathy. He demonstrates a willingness to accompany Leonard on a somewhat humiliating errand to help Penny by retrieving her television from her ex-boyfriend's apartment, even though this is far outside his comfort zone. Rewatching it now, it becomes clear that the writers initially envisioned Sheldon with the potential for growth into a more balanced character. However, as the show evolved, Sheldon became more rigid, his quirks exaggerated to the point where he often came across as selfish or oblivious to others' emotions. The pilot suggests a softer, more adaptable version of Sheldon that never truly materialized, and this realization raises questions about how differently the show might have progressed had the creators leaned into this initial characterization instead of amplifying his eccentricities for comedic effect. Another shocking element in the pilot is Penny's role and how her dynamic with Leonard is framed from the very beginning. Leonard is instantly smitten with her, declaring that their children will be smart and beautiful, a line that is played for laughs but in hindsight reveals the foundation of Leonard's long-running obsession with Penny. At first glance, it might seem like a sweet romantic notion, but upon rewatching, it actually highlights a problematic pattern in Leonard's character. From day one, his attraction to Penny is less about who she is as a person and more about fulfilling his own fantasy of being with the kind of woman he never thought he could attain.